Hello, time travelers. It is I, Touch Game today. Hold on. Now I know a lot of y'all might be wondering, yo, who is this guy again? Which is valid. You know what I'm saying? I'm more often on than Corey. but, hear me out. Listen, I've been gone for 467 days. And saying it out loud for the first time is actually absolutely crazy. However, it's not without its reasons. Okay, I promise you, there was way more behind the scenes than I would ever let anyone know besides the people close to me. As a lot of you may or may not know though, depending on who actually watches and sees this video, I was locked in heavy on those Tekken videos, dog. Like seriously. Those finishing the arcade or rage quitting joints I was working on that averagely did pretty good. Like people were rocking with them. You know what I'm saying? When I was consistent, at least. Shoot, but like those, it's pretty dope to me though. The way that people seem to be locked in on that with me, but unfortunately, the way life works, everything just kind of came crashing down. And to be honest, that might be a severe understatement of the trail of events. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, emotionally, and even physically, the last year and some change has been an experience that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Anyone, to be honest. Like, I'm not even going to go into deep detail. But anyways, this channel may be so dead, this vid probably just get lost in the void, but I'm locking it over here anyways. Matter of fact, even though my YouTube has unfortunately been on the neglected side of things, I did put a lot of short form content over on TikTok as well as a couple of live streams and whatnot. Excuse me. Anyway, all I will say is being on top of the world is something you have to be very smart with. And it's something you have to manage wisely because the speed in which everything can fall apart can be taken from you is low-key some blink of an eye horror movie type stuff, And during the period of recovery, a lot of toll's been taken on me. I haven't been in a really good mood in a very long time. Most of my happiness really just came from moments, but also those moments always pass and I'm back in that slump, finding myself in the place I last was, It was a constant. One ray of light I did have was when I was finally able to access the live streaming on TikTok. And I was able to do that for like 3 times before the one place of privacy I had was taken away. And I'm a creator who actually values his privacy when it comes to recording. Like, I don't like recording with a bunch of people in the room or spectators and whatnot. So without my private place, I lost all motivation, completely because I wasn't able to do the one thing that I very much enjoyed doing, and that was just making content and all that. Still, the heck of me thinking I was going to have a permanent win though, the way things were going, it was like, no, I was always spoon-fed happiness and here's this just to get it snatched, But the new year ushered in, is coming about 4 days ago. I started recording this video on the 3rd. It's now the 5th. A lot of you might know that I recorded this video already. Now I wanted to put this in the beginning. However, I unlisted the last video. This is an entire remake of the tier list. Okay? So we're redoing everything we did before, paraphrasing more or less, because as you guys could tell, for anyone who did watch the original video, which is currently unlisted, not gone but unlisted, the audio was absolutely abysmal and extremely unbearable. So luckily, I have a good support system. They let me borrow their mic, and this mic is absolutely insane. You can hear every bit of crispiness. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but a lot of people who may know, I started my channel on 11/11/17, right? And I've been going on with this channel for about almost 10 years and a little bit, 9 years this year. But I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my channel, and I've reached my 250 sub milestone, which probably might be, it was like the worst timing ever on that, but I didn't want to just give the channel up. I wanted to, I still might make a new one, but saying bye-bye to this one just wouldn't sit well with me. I have an idea though for now And it's going to be an homage to everything on this channel because I don't want to start all the way over. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a trip down memory lane, right? And the way we're going to do that is my return video is going to be the what kind of music with every character that I ever played as on every video of my channel listened to. And it's a tier list, yes sir. We're making new types of content. You know what I'm saying? You know, the only different content I ever did was a movie review for Max Payne way back when. But right now we're stepping away from the video gameplay in order to lock in on this channel. We're gonna give it a little bit of appreciation, a little bit of cringe, because I'm telling you, some of my old videos age like milk. A lot of those videos age like milk. You know what I'm saying? It was my voice, always some type of audio issue, always some lag, which you'll see in the gameplay. My recording software, trash at the time, you know what I'm saying? Editing with the same software you used to record. Look, me starting out, I didn't know that that was a no-no, you feel me? So, yeah, but, we're gonna start with my introductory video from 11/11/17 because I did make my channel on Skyrim Day, funnily enough. And then we're gonna go all the way back to my very last publicly listed video. Note I say publicly listed. I was using my YouTube to upload clips to TikTok by taking those clips and, you know what I'm saying, posting them on YouTube as unlisted, bringing them, you know what I'm saying. Just anything but posting actual content on the channel. But, yeah, so we're gonna determine what music every character I've ever played listens to, which includes characters that I may have controlled in like a 3-second flashback scene, or side characters in an RPG I've played, like everybody. And you know, I don't remember everything besides the content that I already went over when I originally made this video, and so you're still gonna be that, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be that, but better, because as you guys can tell, my audio is good. You don't have to put your TV or your phones or headphones up at like 500% in order to hear me anymore, because we're kind of locked in right now. Excuse me. So as you guys may know, I do have over 227 videos on this channel. A lot of them are in bulk because of playthroughs, but a lot of those playthroughs also feature a plethora of characters, like Until Dawn. You know, you play with like 5 characters in that game, and I know that you can probably get hints on what the type of music they listen to from the game, so hopefully that's a little bit simple. We're not going to go over the whole rules segment again because I already wanted to make this make this easier for myself and less stressful. So the basic rules, 2 simple rules. 1, we're not allowed to just assume what music a character listens to based on how they look or how they act. No. In rule 2, we're if they don't have any canonical or confirmed type of music that they listen to, then that's when we go into the little research territory and we start figuring out things that we figuring it out from there, you know. So with that being the case, time travelers, let's go ahead and hop on into it. Yes, sir. To 2026. New year. Okay, so let's actually take a look at what we actually have over here on our tier list, if you haven't already analyzed it. So for you have the popular categories, we have pop music, hip hop, rock, R&B, country, jazz, and classical. Now we also have cultural, which for example will be Donkey Kong and Diddy. Their music tastes, or while they're familiar with, might more so be the sounds of you know, bongos and drums and the sounds of the jungle and all that good stuff. The music that you commonly hear there, because I'm pretty sure that's all they know. Then you have the what's popular category, which will probably be for a character like we'll say Spider-Man, who probably doesn't have a direct genre that he more so gravitates towards, but just kind of listens to what's pretty tunesy or whatnot. I imagine he's like a TikTok scroller who just kind of listens to, oh, I find this song catchy, so he just kind of listens to that. You know, he's quirky like that. Then you have music, which would be for characters probably like Geno from Super Mario RPG. He was a toy who came to life from a star character, a star. So he probably has no idea what music is whatsoever. Then you have music, which would be characters who probably do not care for it at all, like Ryu. A character who more so cares about the sounds of battle and fist clashing and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. We're going to figure it out as we go along. As you know, this is a remake, okay? So we kind of already got the general gist of how it's going to go. Just consider this a high-level remake because we're locked up in, you feel me? We're locked up in and we're going to go crazy with this. So let's go ahead and get started with our first video. Hello guys, this is the Time Travel Gamer here, and where today this is a mixture of video gameplay along with just an introduction to my channel. So Super Mario RPG was the first video I've ever uploaded on my channel. I played it as, like I said, just as an introduction to have gameplay. It was one of the most monotone, depressing, zero personality, zero enthusiasm, sleep-inducing, melatonin resembling video you can ever watch in your life, as you guys can tell from that little intro sequence, you know what I'm saying? Which is crazy because I went in there with a mindset that, yo, we finna make this first video, it's finna be banger. It was not a banger. It was not. We were barely audible, which is crazy. The development, you know what I'm saying? But no one's first video straight out the gate is an absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece, you know what I'm saying? I'm capping because I've seen some people whose first videos were straight up amazing content, but that's because a lot of the resources that they have today, they also got money. I was a college student back then. 2 months in, by the way. So all I had was a laptop and a dream, you know what I'm saying? And a hobby. Laptop and a hobby, I'll say that much. But with that being the case, let's go ahead and see where because we did this video, we didn't play too far. We only played with Mario. So we're going to go ahead and see where Mario lies on that tier list, you know? So with Mario being a character that's been around since the early 80s, he hasn't had an established, not established, he hasn't had a confirmed answer to the type of music that he actually listens to. However, it's been insinuated that he's probably a fan of the Beatles and Frank Sinatra. But him being a Brooklyn, New Yorker, I also feel like it would be impossible to avoid hip-hop, especially in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? 80s and 90s going up from that point. I feel like that influence might have been super heavy as well. So, however, I feel like if you were to have if you were to walk up to Mario and say, hey, go ahead and put on some songs for us, I don't think his immediate thought will be to play like Wu-Tang or Mobb Deep or anything like that. I feel like while he's plumbing, he might be vibing to that Frank Sinatra, you know? So I'm just going to go ahead and throw him in the classical category. I feel like that's his go-to. And, yeah, once again, this is not headcanon. This is basically going off of what I've seen, what I've read. This is when I was doing early research before I decided that I wasn't going to give myself a headache last time. So, yeah, we're going to put him in classical. Some things might change. If you're one of the 28 people who've seen the original video, some things might be different. You never know. But yeah, so that's that. Moving on to the next. Hello everybody, this is Time Travel Gaming, and this is Galley Dow with Altered Beast. Altered Beast, a character where you don't really know too much about your character besides what he does, what he's doing it for, and the setting. So all we know is he's a Greek crusader back in the olden times, out here on a plot to rescue Athena, who can transform into stuff. Now, that's about as much as you get. I don't know anything about the future iterations of Altered Beast, like the PS2 and Xbox versions where you play as different characters and all that. I know that this guy right here is about as unknown as it goes. They didn't establish too much, let alone the music he listens to. However, based off setting and all that alone, Greek and all that, let's take inspiration from one of the best Greek games of all time, God of War. That music, chunky heavy metal, straight up high octane. That's Attack on Titan. Same difference though, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit, it go hard. So with that being said, let's go ahead and put him on that tier list. Okay, so with Mr. Altered Beast, where is he? Right here. We're just gonna go ahead and do what we did. See, I could also throw him in cultural because I feel like that type of music, no, honestly, I don't see the Greek gods just straight up vibing out to like You know, I feel like they listen to like harps and stuff like that. But this guy in particular, he turns to a freaking wolf and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like werewolf. So he definitely, yeah, for sure, that shit like that. So yeah, we're gonna put him in a rock category because I feel like that definitely counts as rock. It could also count as classical. You know, because it's highly orchestrated. But orchestras don't mean classical always. But most of the time they do. But God of War, I wouldn't put the theme for that in rock. So we're going to go ahead and throw you in classical. I don't remember exactly how I set up the tier list before. But yeah, we're just going to do it like that. We're going in blind because like I say, I don't remember pretty much. I don't remember exactly how I set up that tier list, okay? All I know is I set it up. So it could very much be different. But that's the bright side about a remake, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to go a different path than the one you forged before to differentiate from the original. You feel me? Hell yeah. So on to the next. What's up, guys? It's the Time Travel Gamer here with Time Travel Gaming, and today we're going to begin our first official playthrough. And what we're going to be playing is, as you guys can see, Donkey Kong Country. Ah yes, Donkey Kong Country, my first official playthrough that I've ever done on my channel. A playthrough that I'm not that proud of, simply because it took me 6 months to beat this game. And after doing research on how long the game actually is, it's 4 hours. The game is 4 hours long if you know what the heck you're actually doing and you're playing the game correctly. I started playing this on November 14th. I didn't finish it until May of 2018. I BS you not. Down bad because the game got mad difficult. But the best part about this is as the gameplay progressed, I was already comfortable. I was getting more comfortable with being behind the microphone and all that good stuff. So I was able to build a little bit of personality. I don't know why I had the little weird creeper voice going on in the beginning. Really strange to me, but yeah, as you guys can see, this is when I was using that recording software doubling as editing software, so you'll get a lot of lag. And I do want to apologize because a lot of my videos starting off, like a lot of my early videos, especially, I'm so glad I don't have to show every Donkey Kong video because that suffered the most. That suffered the most because of my negligence, and I didn't catch on till way later. You know, I wasn't using OBS off rip. I didn't start using OBS until 2019. We were that down bad. So yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and see what these boys be listening to. You know, another thing about this video or this gameplay is y'all got to see me rage a lot, like no BS. But we already established during the examples about where Donkey and Diddy might be. So yeah, like I said, they listened to the Sounds of the Jungle. Donkey Kong did have his own bongo game for GameCube, as you can see. I'm pretty sure you can get that for cheap. I might be lying because I didn't actually do any research. Actually, let me do that right now. As a matter of fact, we're gonna see those together. Boom, here goes some on Amazon. Let's see what they want from us here. They got $109.91 or $249.99. What the fuck? We're just gonna go ahead and throw them into the cultural category. You know, last time I legit forgot to put Diddy up there like an absolute idiot. That's why I'm good that we're remaking it. We're catching all those mistakes and mismanages that we did last time. To be honest, I could just throw Kiddy Kong and Dixie Kong in this thing too. Cause I don't, yeah, they weren't introduced to humans yet either, you know? So we could just, you know what? Boom, that saves us some time. We're just gonna go ahead and throw Dixie and Kiddy in those same categories. There we go. We're already moving faster than we did last time, y'all. So, oops, excuse me. Did not mean to bump that. But yeah, we locked in. Next time, next one. Ooh, yikes. Hey, yo, time travelers, real quick. I want you to disregard what I just did with Diddy and Dixie, because we get presented with new information from later games. And with that being the case, what I just did was not right. I'm actually going to remove Diddy and Dixie, and we're going to leave Kiddy. We're going to remove Dixie and Diddy because, as you'll see in a future video, we kind of already know what type of music they rock with, okay? So yeah, let's just move on to the next. Disregard that, okay? Love y'all. Mwah. Ew. Pause, y'all. What's wrong with y'all, man?
What's good, everybody? It is I, once again, with the second upload. And today, for some reason, it's going a little slow. Today, for our second upload, we're gonna play Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell that I was trying to do a little bit better. My microphone was really varied back then because there was this headset, very cheap headset, but it got the job done that I would always get. They lasted like a month or so before they got a random shortage in it. That was not my fault, I promise you. They would always break on me. Regardless of that though, we Super Castlevania 4. As you guys know, this gives a song. It has the theme of Simon Belmont. It's the theme of my channel. I've used that song since like what, my second ever upload. I love that song so much. You guys hear that song in the background of my talking segments in this video also. It's amazing. Now Simon Belmont, he's like, you know, back there in the, I want to say 1700s, vampires and all that. We already know where he goes on the list, all right? We know. So, with that being the case, so we already know because as you guys can hear from the theme of Simon Belmont playing in the background, a lot of organ heavy. You can, the instruments used are not rock music. They're more so orchestra. So with that being the case, we're going to go ahead and snatch up Mr. Belmont and put him in the classical category. Because a lot of the themes are really reminiscent of stuff you'll hear in like a Van Helsing type thing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, quite easy, quite simple, in and out, done. So moving on.
What's up, everybody? Time Travel Gamer here. And today, we're here to do something that we haven't done in a long time. And that's play a game from way back when. I mean, we've played Donkey Kong Country, and I know I said we're gonna play Donkey Kong Country as a double upload today. However, you know, I'm kind of not in a rush to jump back into it because I was just talking. I didn't know what I was getting myself into yesterday. But, you know, today I decided we'll do a double upload. And, you know, first video, we're gonna play Ring King.
Ah yes, good old Ring King. I had fun playing this game, I remember. This, funnily enough, this is where you got one of like my favorite moments personally in my early YouTube career, where you get the infamous scene of me getting like uppercutted out the ring on some Tommy versus Martin type stuff. Like, look at this, look at this.
Good at this, Billy.
Yeah, that happened. Funniest thing ever to me back in the day, because that's never happened to me playing that game before until that time. But yeah, so the thing about our player character in Ring King is he has no established background or nothing. He's a character that we get a default design with, but we know nothing about him. Now, as I stated before, putting him in my shoes, or putting myself in his shoes, I feel like if I was to be a boxer, I think our ginger friend here, because we are the blue guy with the red hair, you know, I feel like we will go out there to Coming Undone by Korn or Indestructible by Disturbed, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we start off with Coming Undone, then go to Indestructible when we're in like the finals on the, on the big bad, like, you will be shown. We in, I keep bumping it. Hey, chill. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and put him where he belongs. You know what I'm saying? Straight to it, nothing to it but to do it. So, yeah, let me get back then. Let's just go ahead and snatch up our boy. Like I said last time, out of context, yes, it might be weird as to what's going on here. Chill. Hold on, let's work with me here. Boom, I'm using my touchpad right now, forgive me. But yeah, put him in rock. Yeah, simple as pie. Easy as pie. Simple as pie, easy as cake. That's what it is, I believe. Easy as cake.
What is up, guys? Excuse me. But I'm back. And guess what I'm back with? No, it ain't Donkey Kong. It's not. I'm playing. Bum, bum, bum. Killer Instinct.
You want to know what's so funny? Now you can see a little bit of more personality showing out with me doing stuff like that. Like I do it a lot more these days, but back then it was really rare for me to do a killer instinct type thing. I did that myself, by the way, because this is exactly how the man sounds on the Super Nintendo version of this game. Now in this game, I played 4 characters. I played Jago, Cinder, Fulgore, and Thunder. And yeah, last time we kind of came to some conclusions based off of themes on how things pretty much go for these characters. So we're just gonna lock in on that again, cause you know, pretty cut and dry. I'll explain as we go along. Let's do it. So as you guys do remember last time, Jago, where's our boy at? He's a Oriental fella. We put him in the cultural because due to his themes, you know, music of strong Japanese descent and whatnot. And then we have Fulgore, whose theme is rooted heavily in the rock music, so we went ahead and threw him in there. Also Cinder, he has that Inferno theme, which is extremely rock heavy. Boom. Then we had our boy Thunder. Here he is. Boom. We put him in cultural. We could also put him in music, but no. Native American tribes definitely have their own themes of music, and I don't imagine them listening to anything else up here unless they're like super American. You know what I'm saying? But this is a tribal chief. He does not listen to none of this. So we're going to go ahead and put him in cultural, and we're going to move on because easy as cake. Type.
Yeah, guys, so we back with one of my my favorite games from my childhood, Spider-Man. With one of my favorite games from my childhood, we got, oh my gosh, just get to it. We got Marvel Comics presents Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage, start game.
So as you guys could probably tell from the title, I did play Killer Instinct and Spider-Man. This was the first 2-parter video I've ever done in my life. So then we're gonna set some rules here. First of all, Spider-Man Maximum Carnage aged like shit. I'm very much aware of that. However, I loved it. Carried by nostalgia the way that I love that game. I play it to this day, I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway, excuse my language, by the way. Sorry. Aged like milk. It didn't age. To me, I still love it. Anyway, so last time when we were on that tier list, we set up some quick rules and whatnot. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and transition on over there. Last time we said that Spider-Man listened to what's popular and all that good stuff. You know, we put him in the what's popular category because I feel like Spider-Man is a character that listens to everything. Even in the introduction, I remember reiterating that. However, I want to do something special for my boy. Now, there's heck of iterations. You know, he was a hip-hop fan, classic music fan, rock fan, blah, blah, blah. However, in the older comic book, Mary Jane and Peter Parker's song was Kung Fu Fighting, which is a disco/funk song, but also very much pop. It'll go in the pop category. And because I love the time when Peter Parker and Mary Jane were in love and all that good stuff, and because their song was canonically that was mentioned a few times, by the way, we're going to just go ahead and use it. Why? Because I'm a Spider-Man fan and I love when he's happy. And I miss when Mary Jane did that and wasn't such a stick in the mud. You know what I'm saying? You know? Anyway, on to the next. Hell yeah.
What is going on, everybody? It is I, Time Travel Gamer, here with Time Travel Gaming. We have a new video today. Today we're going to be playing Pirates of the Dark Water.
So the funniest thing about this video is this is the first video that I ever recorded where I said, it is I, Time Travel Gamer, here with Time Travel Gaming. And you want to know okay, here's a little secret on how I came up with that. I forgot my channel name. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't remember in the moment of me recording this if I was named the Time Travel Gaming or Time Travel Gamer. So I just went with, okay, this Time Travel Gamer here with Time Travel Gaming. And it just kind of rolled off. This is before I didn't start calling people time travelers until a couple years later. But yeah, it is I. Time Travel Gaming here with Time Travel Gaming was a thing that I came up with completely on accident. But it just worked. It kind of stuck because my channel was called Time Travel Gaming at first. Now it's called The Time Travel Gamer. You know, it's a thing. I'm trying to avoid stepping on other folks' toes, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Pirates of the Dark Water. So, as we established last time, they kind of into their own type of stuff, sea shanties and all of that, based off of the music scene and their theme. Matter of fact, I didn't play that last time because I was afraid YouTube was going to say, nah, man, take that off, bro. Nah, they won't mind if I play a little bit just so y'all can get like a general gist of what it is I'm talking about. Peep this, peep this.
At his side is an unlikely but loyal crew of misfits. At his back, the evil pirate lord Blood, who will stop at nothing to get the treasures for himself.
So as you guys can tell, the main theme generally around them is like pirate music, with a little bit of adventure, action adventure pirate music, you know? So I feel like that just kind of goes into the culture of them being pirates. Also, it dawned on me that that man's name is not Ben, it's Ren, as you guys can tell. Seems to be a prince and all that good stuff. I didn't really know too much lore on the on these Dark Water characters. It's been so long since I bothered to look into that, but yeah. So we played with Ren and Eoz, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying, they just kind of, they don't bump that type of music obviously, but I feel like they kind of have their tally-ho types of jams and stuff that they probably sing on the boats and all that, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and put bro where they belong and all that. Boom, back on over here we belong. So both of these fellas, Mr. Ren, not Ben. Look, to be in my defense though, those 16 pixels that the Super Nintendo was giving off made it seem like his name was Ben. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, Ben and Eoz, because I mean they didn't really say too much about his name. We just gonna go ahead and throw him in the culture and move on.
Alright, what up y'all? It is me, Time Travel Gaming here, and what you're getting here is a recording over a previous video. Now I'm gonna hurry up and rush through this before the game starts. I already played this game for a little while I was at a micro Comic-Con in my city.
So as you guys can see, based off of what I just said in that last video, I recorded this gameplay at a Comic-Con here in my city. And the thing is, I didn't really plan on going for content. I never once went into a Comic-Con or anything of the sort for content. It was more so just for me to enjoy myself. It was a hobby of mine. But in this particular one, they had this arcade section where they had Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of the Superheroes, and I didn't have anything to come record with. I was going to ask someone to like record off my phone on some 2012 YouTuber type stuff, but they had flash drives there and I was able to connect and get the content off there. Pretty simple. I got 15-20 minutes off playing with a bunch of random people that was at the event with me. Now in this particular gameplay, we played with 4 people. We played with Venom.
We are Venom.
We played with Mega Man. We played with Ryu. And we played with Gambit.
Don't mess.
So now we're gonna have to figure out what each and every one of them listen to, which, to be honest, is not as hard as you may think. So we're just gonna go straight on in as we go. So starting off with Venom. As we all know, we established last time that even though Venom definitely comes off as the rock and roll guy based off how he looks, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna say stick with hip hop, cause Venom, Eminem, a lot of people will associate that. Knock knock with the devil and benevolent as I ever be type beat. Then you got Mr. Rock himself, Mega Man. We're not gonna do this pun again. You guys already know where I stand with this. Rock, rock, rock. Rock. Then we got Ryu, Mr. Only Listen to the Sound of Battle. He probably doesn't know what music is, but I don't think he's stupid. So we're gonna put him right here as someone who does not care for music. We already said that in the intro. Then we got Mr. Gambit, who we're gonna put in jazz and not cultural, because I feel like jazz might be his favorite, but no, I feel like all of the music of his Cajunness, you know, New Orleans music. I don't think he listening to like Mystical or Lil Wayne or nothing like that, you know? So I feel like when it comes to jazz, he's a big fan of the saxophone and all that. And with that being said, yeah, we're all done. With this part at least. Let's get to the outro, darling. And with that, time travelers, we are done. Now this is, like I said, a remake / re-upload. But you know what I'm saying? Better quality is all that matters here. And also, we did make a little bit of a few changes here and there. we did jump the gun on a few changes also, but that's neither here nor there. But that being the case, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, you guys do what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Share it about with your friends and all that. The fact that I came back after over 460 days of being gone, and the video still managed to get a few likes and views and whatnot, I'm 100% appreciative. But I feel like we can do better with better software, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did take the time to really do this from scratch. I redid this whole video from scratch, but because we already knew the general direction of where we wanted to go, it didn't take that long to finish. So yeah, this video is going to be up on Monday, January 5th. Yeah, we're still in the early time scale of this to solidify what we want to do with our channel and all that, and I will catch you guys next week with part 2 of this tier list. I love you all, and bye bye.